Alright, so in this video, I'm going to tell you guys what to buy in the event, the Go West Lachelein event. There's a lot of stuff. I'm sure a lot of beginners don't have any idea what they're supposed to get. So if you're a beginner or like an early mid-game player, I can help you out. If you're end game or late mid-game, can't help you. I'm not there yet. So if you want to fact check me and leave some stuff in the comments, if you're like an end game player, feel free. I just want to make sure that like beginner players know the best things they should get, so I'm giving them that. But if you have a better insight, feel free to leave it in the comments. We're gonna go over how to get them all first, all the different types of fragments. Then I'll go over each shop. So Reverie fragments, super simple. All you gotta do is go to the Midnight Party event lady in your star tab, and you click check in. That's it. Literally, that's all. You go to the day that you click check in, you get 500 of them, and you get to claim stuff. That's literally it. There's also a weekly one. You can hit check-in after you've killed 200,000, or not 200,000, 2,000 mobs you're around your level. You can do it 3 times a week. You hit check-in, you get a bunch of XP stuff. This won't get you Reverie fragments, but it gets you more stuff. We love stuff, so just do that too while you're at it. That's all you got to do. Literally just check in. It's everything as well is like per world, so you can't do this stuff on multiple characters. So you literally just do it on one and you're good. Night fragments you get for killing weekly bosses. So those are not the daily ones, obviously. So none of this stuff is going to count. So like normal Zakum would not count. Chaos Zakum would count, right? And this is just an example. So I'm like 244. I can do from Zakum to probably Damien. Damien and Lotus are still like kind of hard to do alone, but I can do them alone. I haven't done Damien yet, but I'm at 205 night fragments, which means you're not going to get very many of these, right? Like this is the currency you will have the least of by far out of the 3. All you got to do is defeat weekly bosses, and then you go to how do I earn night fragments, this fabulous Dreamkeeper guy. How do I earn night fragments? You click it and then you'd be able to claim them. I already claimed them, so I can't do it. You can also do it from this star. You click this, claim night fragments, and you do the same thing. So you don't have to be in this area to do it. That's how you get night fragments. Dance fragments are just the mini games. That's all you got to do. The Dream Orange Mushroom and the Dream Pink Bean each have a minigame. Thinking of You is one, which is like you hit like arrow keys or something. And then this one's Uno. Personally, I do the Uno one every time. The first 2 days, I tried each one for a day to see which one was faster and which one I like more, which I would suggest doing as well. And do whichever one you think is faster or whichever one you like more. I like Uno more, and I think it's faster. If you win, you get, on a normal day, you can get 500 Dance Fragments max. On a Sunday, you can get 1,000. For a win on a normal day, like a first place in Uno, you get 300. And one other thing as well is you can convert Reverie fragments to Dance fragments. If you really hate the minigames, you can do that if you want the cosmetic stuff that badly. Personally, I'm just doing the minigame every day. But if you hate it or you don't got time, you can transfer them. Now we're going to shops. So the first shop, most important shop, Reverie fragment shop. What you want from here, if you're a beginner, epic potential scrolls are very hard to get as a beginner. There's a couple ways you can do it, but I remember struggling like crazy. So I would recommend epic potential scrolls only on items that you are going to keep for a while, and only when you don't have mystical cubes. So for an example, an item that you will keep for a long time is this emblem. Your level 100 emblem you will have forever. Not literally forever, but it's going to take a long time to replace this thing. So this is one. For example, I would just epic potential scroll this right away. Like as soon as you hit 100 and you get enough currency, just epic potential scroll that thing. Another one could be your secondary weapon. If you want, you can wait for the Princess No one, which is better than the level 100 one you get. It just depends on how much you play. If you think you could do Princess No pretty quickly, then you can get it. It also takes a couple weeks to get. It takes like 2 to 3 weeks to get this because you need fragments to be able to get this. So if you want to wait 2 to 3 weeks to be able to get the Princess No one, you can wait for that one. But Epic 6% is really not that crazy. You could just get it normally. Mystical cubes are how you would normally do it. So if this was a rare item, for example, like this is rare, right? I would be using... I can't do it in here, I don't think. Maybe I can, I don't know. But I would be using mystical cubes until I get it to epic. If you run out of mystical cubes, you can buy an epic potential scroll. Mystical cubes as well, they're like, to me, RNG, whether or not I get it quickly. Like I've spent 400 on an item, and I've spent like 10 on an item, and I've gotten it sometimes. So it really just depends. But if you run out of mystical cubes and you need to get something epic, there's your epic potential scroll. River droplets and stone droplets, I would max both of these. I wouldn't prioritize getting them. I would get them later on because there's some stuff in the growth tab that you want to prioritize. So when you have extra fragments and you've bought all of the stuff that we're going to talk about in the growth tab, I would get these for sure. I would max them both. Now growth tab time. So by far the best thing that you should always be spending your Reverie fragments on every day is the EXP coupons, as long as you play enough. This is like an hour, 45 minutes of EXP between the 3x and the 2x. I would recommend you buy them fully, buy 5 of the 2x, 2 of the 3x, and use them. And the good thing about these is they're transferable within worlds. So you don't have to use them on your current character. Because for me, I'm leveling a lot of characters as well every day because of the 0 to 100 and the burninators that I have. So if you're doing that as well, I would highly recommend grabbing these because you're going to be using these every day, all of them. I've been using all of them every day and I need to buy them and use them. But these are by far the best thing. VIP selectors, I would use certain times. So if you are leveling characters and you're like farming and like mobbing a lot, you can buy it for the EXP buff. If you're bossing a lot, you can also buy it for the stat buff. I personally would only buy it for bossing if I was close to killing a boss and I couldn't kill it. If you can kill it fine without it, I don't see the point in wasting it. But if you're like really close to being able to kill a boss that's like important, that gives you good stuff, then I would buy it to like get that extra bit of damage to be able to do it. After those, I would skip down, don't get any of this. Trait boost potions, the next thing. I would only buy this for your main character or your main 2 characters. If you have a main and you have a character you're going to second main, I would get it only for those 2. Because what you can do with these is you can use them to level up your charm, and getting your charm to level 30 gets you this pocket slot, which you can put an item in. So it is useful for that, and it does increase your damage, so I would definitely use it for that. It might require 2 if you're at level 0 or 1. I don't remember. It's 1 or 2, but you buy it, you use it on charm. Once you get your charm to level 30, you'll unlock pocket slot. After that, I wouldn't get any of this. There's something with crafting and Meister rings that is helpful for. I know nothing about that, so I'm not going to talk about it, but the rest of this wouldn't touch any of it. The 40 slot soul bag, I did buy one of these. It is helpful, so I would recommend if you have a lot of souls and they're taking up a lot of your inventory space, I would recommend buying it. It's like if I didn't have it, mine would be like, that's what, 4, 8, 12, 16, 18. That'd be 18 slots that would take up, so it is useful for sure. If you are in the spot where you're like getting a bunch of souls, I would recommend it. Souls you get from bossing, so if you're doing a lot of bosses, then yeah. The circulators, Chaos one, don't buy. 40 bag chair you could also buy if you have a bunch of chairs. I don't have a bunch of chairs, so there's no point. The black circulator you can buy. I wouldn't recommend this for early on. You don't have to worry about these. If you're a beginner, legendary as well, you could buy them if you're like more into the game. If you're creating boss meals and stuff like that. But if you're creating boss meals, you're not a beginner, so I wouldn't even worry about it if you're a beginner. They are helpful, but they're not your priority if you're a beginner or a newer player. That's about it for this tab. We're going to go to the Night Fragment shop. Actually, we're just going to get the Mesa one real quick. Buy nothing. Alright, Night Fragment shop. So, this one, you're going to have a lot less coins because it is doing weekly bosses and you're most likely a beginner or mid-game player. What I would recommend here is, or what I wouldn't recommend, we'll go through that first. Don't buy flames. Flames, there's no point, honestly. Like, you get free flames, so if we go into the weekly rewards, you're going to get a bunch of free flames. Just use those to get your gear to have decent flames. Like, I just get, like, all I do is make sure my gear has a decent amount of all stat, like 4% or higher, and then some of my main stat. Mine is luck, so like everything's going to have all stat and then some luck on it. That's all you got to worry about if you're in the beginning. You don't have to worry about flames too much. So just use the free ones. Don't spend your stuff on this. The Medals of Honor are good if you're later on. Inner abilities are helpful for sure. The thing I would recommend, this to me is the equivalent of the 2x, 3x for this version of the shop. The Arcane River Droplet Stones and the Stone Origin Droplets, I would max get the max of both of these. This will take you a decent amount of time because like they're cost 15 each and there's like 50 of each you could get. But basically with this, you get arcane gear, which is really helpful, really good gear down the line. It'll help you a lot. You need like 100 pieces per gear or something, like 108 pieces of these per gear. So they're extremely helpful to buy these because then you can get like one piece of gear already. That's it for the Night Fragment Shop. The Dance Fragment Shop is all cosmetic, so just buy whatever the heck you like. That's literally all. What you can do, so I didn't know in the beginning, the first event that I joined, you can't see what the stuff actually looks like, which is an issue, right, for like these outfits. You can just go to the patch notes, and if you, it'll start you at the top. Let me just scroll to the top real quick. If you go to the top, you can go to Dance Fragment Shop, just click it, and it'll tell you everything and what it'll show you what it looks like. So if you want to know what anything looks like before you buy it, just do that. But that's literally it. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. If you're an endgame player and you have better suggestions, leave them in the comments as well. Thanks for watching.